As I was a kid, I used to read Scott at the Antarctic and Shackleton's Journey and all those sorts of things. To actually sort of see Cape Horn for the first time off in the distance, and then you travel across Drake's Passage, and then you get your first little glimpses of Antarctica and the snow-capped mountains, and as you get closer you start to see some wildlife. There's a whale or two in the water, and then suddenly there's penguins, and then there's a seal sitting on an ice floe, and you go, oh yes, we're finally there.
It was an expedition cruise, which meant that we could get out and see the penguin colonies. They also had scientific officers on board, which is where my stuff that's under the microscope comes by. It was a really interesting and exciting group that we travelled with, as well as just the whole experience of being in that space.
There was a fellow there doing cloud studies for NASA, because clouds just look white from the satellites, so to match up the data from NASA with what's actually underneath the clouds. In fact, that's where some of the work comes from. What would the ship look like from above, and the Antarctica look like from above, from the satellite views. I like to experiment with art, and so I've got a variety of different techniques and styles.
There are three things that they talk about with art, and one is shape, and one is light, and the other one is colour. And what we saw down there certainly skewed those three aspects. So living in Bundaberg, where it's absolutely dead flat, to these massive mountains and huge slabs of ice floating past. And the colour of the water is so different to what we see out the front here, because it's deep, very, very cold water. And the light was so much more diffuse.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it literally is, in the truest sense of the word, awe-inspiring.
It's outstanding to sort of see how small we are in comparison to that whole environment down there.